Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday. Hope
Hello.
everyone's having a great start to their week. Thanks, everyone, for joining Stammer
Likewise,
AI
likewise.
office hours this week. We've got a lot of things to cover today, some exciting new updates, new features that we've pushed, and some new things that are coming up on the horizon as well. So I'm going to get right into it today. We're going to do a bit of a housekeeping. I'm going to go over the new features, stuff for next week, and then, of course, we'll have the general question and answer at the end. So if you guys have any questions throughout any of the information that I'm talking about, please feel free to put it in the chat, and some of our team members will respond, and then we can talk about them at the end of the call as well. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here and we'll get started. So like I always like to start off these meetings, just humble plug for all of our documentation and information where you can learn more about the things that we are releasing. You can go to roadmap.stammer.ai, and this will have all of our changelog information where we put in detail all of the latest information about our fixes and new features. You can also go here to add items to the public roadmap. And this morning we actually went through and started cleaning some of these items up and updating based off of the progress that we've made in the last couple weeks. So this is a really good way to see what other people are looking for from the platform, as well as being able to yourself be able to log in and upvote the items that you'd like to see changed on the platform. So this is a really good way of how we're going to make sure that we are aligned with all of you guys as our customers. And that's one of the things that I think has really set us apart thus far. Another honorable mention is our documentation, docs.stammer.ai. This has, of course, all of our videos, tutorials, prompt templates, how to build and sell your AI agents to your customers. Some of the most latest information regarding Leads 2.0, which we will be discussing in a few minutes, is here as well. So all this is really good information to keep in mind. And of course, there's many of our YouTube videos that are linked in our documentation that are full tutorials. And we have lots of information regarding all of our new features that you guys can watch as well. Welcome, welcome to everybody that joined. Just going through some brief housekeeping items. We are about to talk about some of our new features that we've just released. And then, of course, at the end, we'll have a general question and answer session. So if you guys have any questions throughout anything that I'm talking about today, please feel free to put it in the chat or wait till the end and speak up then. All right, so I'm ripping through stuff today because we do have a fair amount of stuff to go over. The first item that I'd like to bring up and discuss is our updated Leads 2.0 feature, which now has the ability to extract lead data the second the user has filled out all of the information that you have defined. For everyone that might not be aware, Leads, or the Leads tab, or Leads 2.0, as we've commonly been referring to it in these office hours, gives your AI agent the ability to extract data specifically from the conversation. Now, this is automatically done when the conversation ends or automatically after 1 hour of inactivity. That is really useful for platforms or integrations where AI chat agents are having a single conversation, whereas a conversation could be ended within a chat widget or something like that, where there's a trigger to end the conversation. Now there's a third way, and if you want to be able to do this, you can, and it's very easy. We simply added a generated prompt here, and I'll show exactly how this works. So by default, if you go in and you set up your AI agent and you're writing out your base system prompt, there are probably some general instructions that you're going to have your AI agent do. And there's lots of examples and templates that we have in our documentation that can help you write out the prompt that you want your AI agent to follow. And that's basically a set of instructions that will tell the AI agent to do certain things at certain times. One of those things will be to ask the user for specific information that you'd like to collect from this interaction. So for example, let's say I want this AI agent to not only answer questions about Stammer AI, but I'd also like them to collect the user's email address. So I simply have a line in here, and this is specifically down in this section so I can easily showcase it to you guys. But if you're familiar with this in the past, you might have this instruction somewhere else in your prompt. And this says, answer the first question from the user, then ask the user for their email address. Very simple and straightforward. Now, the conversation in the AI agent will will have this email address inside the conversation. Now, once that user has responded with their email address, because I have added the value of an email, we're basically telling the AI agent, hey, after you've collected all of this data, i.e. the email, which is the item that I've added up here, and if I wanted to add multiple different other ones, I could. And you can see as the prompt here is adjusting as it generates based off of the information that you've added. This prompt can be added, copied, and pasted, and it's already as a default in there for all new AI agents. You can paste it into your prompt where you see fit, and we highly recommend that you put it right after you're asking the user for their information. You paste in that line that says, please extract the email address, and then we're calling this function to send the data about lead collection. Now, this might look a little bit more advanced or a little bit more complicated, but that's why we have a lot of videos and documentation explaining this in detail. And for everyone on this call and for everyone watching on YouTube, we are essentially providing a custom function that will extract the values from the conversation, and then it will send that information to wherever you'd like. And it's the same email or webhook that you are sending this data to. So the idea here is as soon as the user has filled out these values or answered these values based off of what the AI agent prompt is set to do, that information will be immediately extracted and then sent over to the webhook. And so I can show you an example here from a conversation that we did. And this also works with scheduling. It works with other custom functions as well. So you can see I have a question. I asked how much it costs. The AI agent goes to the knowledge base to get the correct information. And then it says at the end, if you have any more questions, could I please have your email address to provide more personalized help? I provide my email address. It says, thank you. As soon as I said my email address, it has extracted that data to this webhook I have set in Go High Level. And we can see the lead data value here for email is the email that has been extracted from the conversation. Now, this is the same exact way and format and everything as if the conversation was ended. But as you can see, the conversation continues to where I eventually use our scheduling feature to schedule an appointment natively through the conversation here. All this information is extracted inside of the lead data in the right-hand side. So you can send this in your summary. You can send this immediately. You can send this now when the data has ended. This was a highly requested feature and update that a lot of people were talking about over the weekend. So we got it up and out as quickly as possible. And this is now out for everybody in production right now. You can go ahead and create new AI agents. And we've updated the template prompt here to provide more information and instructions on how to accomplish exactly what I just explained. And just a quick reminder, if the base system prompt has these two little slashes in front of it, that is considered a comment and is not read by the AI agent. So these are helpful guides and instructions for everyone to understand how the prompt works. And if you don't want it or you can just delete it. So there's a much further detailed breakdown in our documentation here. And I'm going to post this in the chat here for everyone. There's a video and more examples that I go over. And this is the best way that we found to allow for this functionality without having to complicate the system or the prompt or confuse anybody with secondary prompts and things of that nature. All right. Yes, that should have been corrected. If not, please let us know. In our testing with this new update, everything has been working pretty flawlessly. So that one should have been resolved. Okay. All right. So that's leads. And if you guys have any questions about that, please put it in the chat. The next thing we're going to showcase and demo is the upcoming MasterChat and Marketplace updates and features that we've been kind of teasing for the last couple weeks. This will be out for full SaaS mode users by the end of this week/weekend. And that will allow you guys to start testing this and seeing how it will work. MasterChat is a new feature that essentially is a ChatGPT style-like interface where you can chat with your AI agents inside of a ChatGPT interface, basically. So this is something that's very familiar to users who are maybe using custom GPTs right now, or Potentially you're already creating custom GPTs and having people, you're selling access to that. This functionality allows you to now sell access specifically to this AI interface without the need to see the dashboard or any of the backend materials. So the idea here is if you want to give people access to the admin side of things, you can, but you can now also create a new subscription package inside your SaaS configurator that will specifically allow you to add MasterChat as the feature that you'd like people to be able to access. So if they were to log into your white label version of the platform, they would be configured right to that specific AI agent inside of their sub account. And so this works on the AI agent level. So for example, if I go into an AI agent here and we say view and master chat, we have the ability to enable or disable individual AI agents inside of MasterChat. And this can be done at the individual account, sub-account level. So ideally what happens is your customers will log in and they'll be able to see the AI agents that they've been given access to. And so, for example, this could be things like, email generation bots, where it knows everything or all the documentation about a company, but now it can respond to emails. But instead of using it in a chat widget or in this admin interface, they're now using it in this nice and clean ChatGPT style-like interface. And of course, this is all going to be white labeled and customized to each agency. So all of the same white label functionality you will be seeing there as well. This is also something that you can upsell to your clients as well. So if you don't want to immediately offer this as a part of your existing subscription package, you can add this as an add-on and charge more money for it, even though you're not getting charged more money for it. This is going to be something that we include for all full SaaS mode users to start. We are then going to look at how we can give access to this to agency and, of course, our starter plan users as well. Right now, MasterChat, when it's released, will be an API key required feature. And what that means is for all full SaaS mode users, you guys have the ability to add your own OpenAI API key. And that allows you to bypass the cost per message in Stammer. So this will make it cheaper for you guys to operate your version of MasterChat, where users might be sending lots and lots of messages or have lots of different examples and lots of different use cases that are less predictable than something like a customer support chat widget. So we tried to think of a lot of different, edge cases when we've been working on this feature for the last couple of weeks and months, especially with all the agencies that we've been talking to getting early feedback on this. So appreciate all you guys for giving that early feedback. And then, of course, just to recap, this will be something that's given to full SaaS mode users probably by this weekend, and that will allow you guys to start testing all of this stuff out. Now, relatedly, we have a massive update going out for Marketplace. And the reason why we're kind of pairing these two items together is because we see, and we've been told based off of the initial feedback that we're getting, that a lot of agencies are selling initial bots or AI agents for specific use cases. And then as their clients start to become more familiar and find their own AI aha moments within their company or organization, the need for additional AI agents for other specific use cases starts to arise. And instead of it being an externally facing AI agent where it's a chat widget that you're installing on a website, it could be something that's an internal AI agent for a company that could help with HR or support, or the one I mentioned earlier, like writing or generating emails. These are all examples and use cases that are going to be much more applicable to a user interface like MasterChat, because this is what more typical users are familiar with. The whole reason for Marketplace is to be able to offer all of you agencies the ability to create, sell, deploy, and update those AI agents for your clients as you see fit. The quick version of Marketplace is basically the same as it is now, where you can add specific AI agents. You can make them free or paid, and you can set specific permissions of what you want to be copied over for different examples or use cases. So for some of these things, it might not be applicable, which is useful if you don't want to have leads or scheduling and those things copied over. The cool part about this is once you have launched an AI agent to the marketplace, your clients can then go and either clone it into their account for free if you've marked it free, or if it's a paid one, that amount will be deducted from their wallet balance. Once a AI agent is cloned or deployed into that sub account, you have the ability to make changes and updates as needed, and then be able to push updates for your clients without your clients having to log in or make any changes. This was one of the things that we got some early feedback on. So that is going to be a feature that is available at release. Marketplace is going out with MasterChat kind of together. So for everyone that gets that feature by the end of this week, you also have access to Marketplace. Marketplace will also be an update that is given to agency users as well. So that is kind of the crux of a lot of the major updates that have gone out or will go out in this next week. The other honorable mentions that I'll say is we've got Claude and Grok integrations coming as well. So alternative AI models to OpenAI will soon become available, where you can essentially add a primary model like a ChatGPT model, and then you have the ability to set up an alternative model or a backup model, which in the instance that OpenAI goes down, everything gets transferred over to the alternative backup model, which ensures AI agents are working nonstop, regardless of if either of those companies, like if their APIs go down or something, which has happened in the last couple months based off of when OpenAI does their releases and updates and things like that. Tim, Drew, anything you guys would add?
Not on my end.
Let me look through some messages here.
The only thing my question was about, if people are currently using 1.0 for leads, how do we suggest them to migrate to 2.0, and then the prompt changes that need to be made accordingly?
Great. Yeah, great. Yeah, thanks for mentioning that. So if you're currently using Leads 1.0, the main difference now between Leads 1.0 and 2.0 is this prompt that you are putting into your base system prompt where you see fit. In Leads 1.0, this was being added automatically in the background, which caused some confusion and was a little complicated because it wasn't in the right place for the AI agent to know exactly how to get this done efficiently. So with 2.0, instead of using the custom prompt that is appended, basically to have feature parity, you would just take this prompt or go to the settings or go to your base system prompt and uncomment that line at the end here that says, after you've collected this data, collect the values that you'd like to collect and then call that function. So if you just go in here and paste in this line that we've created for you, this will most likely work in most scenarios. If you have a more complicated bot with a lot of different, if-then statements or maybe conflicting instructions, this will need to be placed in the appropriate spot. So for example, if you're asking for your user's information right up front before the AI agent answers any questions, then it would be useful to put that line right after you tell the AI agent those instructions. Otherwise, it's the exact same functionality. It's just updated to where it's a little bit simpler to see how it's being done. And we kind of realized throughout our extensive testing of this feature, it has to be done this way in order for it to be most effective and most consistent. That's the most important thing when it comes to collecting data, as we all know, speed to lead. So this will now get you that lead data instantly. If you guys have any questions about this, please feel free to reach out to us, open a ticket, DM us or whatever. We're going to be making a bunch more prompt templates that utilize this in different ways. And what I mean by that is, in this example, I'm telling the AI agent, you can answer the first question and then ask for their information. There are other use cases where the AI agent is not allowed to answer any questions until all of the information has been collected. And that is just a difference in how you're writing these prompts out. So that's that. I mean, that's just a big promotion of prompt engineering. Essentially, that's what we're doing here. We're just writing the prompt to get the right results. All right, Tim, thanks for keeping up with these questions. Let's see. What is the best way to open a ticket on behalf of one of our own customers? So if you go and you open up a ticket, there's the option to copy support info on any AI agent in any account. This copy support info allows us to know exactly which AI agent that you're talking about that might have an issue. And so that's just make sure to include that info when you submit that ticket. When Claude integration is going live, will we be able to select Claude as the primary model, or is it planned as just the backup? It would have fantastic to have the flexibility. Yes, you'll be able to select it as the primary or the backup, and it'll be, interchangeable, vice versa. Will Claude and Grok be released at the same time or separately? Right now, yeah, like Tim said, we're working on a final kind of update with Claude, but Grok should be ready to rip right from the get-go. So we might be able to release them both, but like Tim said, most likely it'll be separately. Can you quickly show the build part of MasterChat, e.g. tools section, knowledge base section, so on? Yeah. So yeah, and like Tim said, it's everything is the exact same. You set everything up. You would write out your prompt in order for what you want it to accomplish or whatever you want it to do. And then once you're ready for it to be viewable in MasterChat, you would just enable this option. And then when you go to MasterChat, it will be in the drop down here. So like right now, I just have this one in here. But if I was to go into this one, I could click enable. Now, if I go back to MasterChat, we should see that there's the second one here. So now we can switch between the two different ones and use it at my heart's content. The other cool thing about this is the 11 Labs and voice integrations work with MasterChat as well. So for accessibility, for folks looking for the accessibility features, that will be included. And if you go to Vault and your 11 Labs API key here, you can basically add any voice on the 11 Labs platform, which is pretty fun. And I think I can show you that. So just like if I just say, hey.
Hello, how can I assist you today?
So that will work at release. And then we're also currently working on vision and document upload for MasterChat as well. So users will be able to add in screenshots and documents, PDFs, CSV files, all that good stuff will all be available as well. Will AI call agents and voice in the chat be available in other common languages like Spanish? Yep. If you have the bot respond in that language, the 11 Labs API will be able to speak it in that language. And there's different voices for different reasons. So as long as you have the right voice in 11 Labs, that will work. Updates on vision. Yep. So that we're actively working up that right now. Will it be on full SaaS mode only? Initially, yes, because it's going to require the API key in order to work. We've been working on a backup billing functionality for that, and that's kind of where the holdup is on that right now. But once we get that sorted, we'll have the ability for everyone to use it without their API key as well. It just might be it'll be better to use your API key with that. Awesome. For MasterChat, what are some business scenarios for MasterChat to prevent me from going crazy with my ideas? So I would look at some of the most popular custom GPTs that people are building and selling right now, or the concept of how do I sell a prompt to somebody without them seeing the prompt. And I know that's kind of a arbitrary example or use case, but I always come back to the email example use case. And it's funny because, showing this to my mom, and she was basically saying how she started using it in this exact way of having it write emails or help ideate on ideas for emails that she could use, to where There's lots of stuff that she wanted to mention, but not necessarily know how to format, or write it in the right way. And so she was able to use that to have it write emails for her in her own voice, basically. Hope you have a good Brit voice. Yeah. So like I said, any voice on 11 Labs, they have tens of thousands of different voices. So you can basically select any voice that you'd like, and it'll work with that. Will clients be able to select different AI models in MasterChat, like switching between GPT 4.0, o1, and Claude? Huge value if they could pick what works best for their use case. We are planning on doing that as the core, like at the core model level. So right now in the examples that I showcased, it's the individual AI agents, but we are planning on adding the ability to, if your API key is enabled, you'll be able to just select one of the raw models and be able to chat with those as needed without having to leave the interface and switch between, any of the Claude, GPT, or Grok, any of those. So just to clarify, the function of MasterChat is to allow users to interact with assistants that you have built without having to navigate the interface. It has nothing to do with editing or managing assistants. Correct. Exactly. It's just a different way of interacting with those agents. Is it an alternative to sharing a link to a single assistant? Good question. It is slightly different. So to get a share link, you can go to a view an AI agent, and there's an option here to get a share link. Now, when this link is shared with users, all they see is an individual chat widget. But this only has the ability to have individual conversations. There's no way to be able to see this kind of interface where you have your conversations on the left-hand side and be able to, interact with it like you would ChatGPT. So the idea of a share link is to quickly share what you've built with a potential client. That's kind of the origin of this feature. Was agencies wanted to be able to do that white glove service of, hey, I'm going to build you an AI agent here, check it out. And here's a very easy way for them to check that out. Once they go further down the funnel, then they might be getting it into something like MasterChat, if that makes sense. When I enable voice and chat without adding any 11 Labs API key, it doesn't seem to work. Yeah, so you got to make sure that the API key is installed. Once that's in there, it should work without any issues.
Hey, Ross, just to jump in here,
Yeah.
the speech to text and text to speech should still work without the need for the 11 Labs API key. It's going to have a super robotic voice, but it should still function.
Yeah, yes, that is correct. Yeah, my mistake. So yeah, I believe that's the default Google Voice ID, which is why it sounds robotic, which is one of the reasons why people requested for 11 Labs to be able to select those custom voices. But if it does seem like there is an issue, please feel free to open a ticket for that, and we can definitely look into any issues. We haven't heard of many issues on that yet. So yeah, please let us know if there's anything specific. Gotcha. So it allows you to chat with multiple assistants and have a chat history. I was just saying that's the closest thing. Yes. Yeah. Correct. Soon says, how many agents can you communicate with at one time via MasterChat? Initially on our first release, it's going to be just one like normal. But the idea here is if you have multiple, I'd like to be able to like at another AI agent here, and that would be able to kind of pull in another AI agent to then have me be able to converse with multiple in one conversation. So, for example, if I was to ask a question or provide an email that it should respond to, I could have one AI agent that it's, a documentation compilation expert, for example, that compiles all the right information. And then that data gets sent to like the email generation agent, which could then format all that information into something that you would actually send to users. Will MasterChat support advanced search functionality, like being able to search previous conversations by keywords and dates combined? Real powerful stuff. Yes, that is a great suggestion. We'll definitely get that added to the list of updates. Also, any plans for easy categorization of past chats? That would be tremendous for helping keep things organized, especially as conversations start stacking up. Huge value for clients. Yeah, I know there are some competitors out there that have the ability to do categorization, filters, folders, and things like that. I think that will be good, easy additions that we can add as we get more feedback on MasterChat. We also did add some other filters to conversations as well. So once you're inside the backend, we do have that functionality and ability as well as the search. So we can basically export this functionality to this front end user interface to allow for the same quality of life slash usability where when people are using the front end of MasterChat. Yeah, so those are great suggestions, Andy. Thank you. Any hope that MasterChat will go live this weekend for full SaaS mode plan users? That is the plan. Yes. Live development always can, take a turn, but in the last, I'd say, month and a half, 2 months, we've been hitting our release targets on a weekly basis, very consistently. So I'm pretty confident. I have like a 80 to 90% confidence that we are going to get this out for you guys this weekend. Tim, would you concur on that?
Yes, I would. Although now that you've said it,
I know, right? Now, I put it out there.
no. But luckily, if it is delayed, it'll just be a delay of a day or two. It's definitely very close to being gotten out. In fact, he's testing it now in our staging environment, so should be shortly out.
Yeah. Yeah. And typically when I bring up these features and showcase them to you guys in one of our testing environments like this, it's essentially ready to go. So all we need to do is kind of push our release and then things are live for everyone. And of course, when that goes live, we will send out an email, we will update our change log, and we will add our documentation, which will have examples and videos and tutorials and all that good stuff. Can we rename MasterChat to another name in our account for sub accounts? Yes. MasterChat was always a temporary name for like our own internal use cases. So yes, definitely we will make that a priority as well. Just out of curiosity, what would you want to call it? Because we were trying to figure out what to call it too. Yeah. I know. I know you don't like it.
I mean, it would be my company name, like Pet AI Chat or something.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. That's good feedback. We could even default it to your agency name that you put into the profile here, which could work.
I thought, Ross, always we could just call it chat or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. MasterChat, internal agent, or Maestro Chat. Oh yeah. There you go. Love the ideas. Cool. All right. Well, any other questions, comments, concerns that anybody has? Got a lot of folks on here today, so appreciate everyone for joining. It's always great to have a bunch of questions and be able to get feedback from people in this live environment.
I just have a question about my issue, Drew.
Yes, the team is going to be giving you a response here today. Ariba reviewed and prioritized it this morning.
Perfect. Thank you for your time. Excited for what's coming. Ask my team. Get back. Perfect. Thank you, Josh. Read the blog about the AI agent marketplace. Really fantastic. Huge potential. Notice there's only 5 AI agents. Yes, we're working on a lot more examples. We're also going to be adding a whole templates section inside of the individual AI agents as well. So for example, inside here, right next to FAQ, there will be a drop down that says prompt templates, and people will be able to cycle through several different examples right here without having to go to Marketplace or anywhere else as well. Perfect, Ariba. Thank you. Christian says, are we able to create sub accounts with specific configurations for clients with the API? Could you clarify, Christian, like which specific configurations are you thinking of? And just curious, what's the thinking behind not having a unified view of all AI agents in one place? I'm sure there's a reason, probably strategic. Would love to explain to my clients so it makes sense. It's organization really is the main thing. From our feedback from other people's clients, the ability to have one or the other similar to how you would engage with them inside GPT was one of the most important things. So that's kind of the main reasoning behind it. But of course, taking feedback from you guys will definitely help adjust that as needed. Okay, are we able to create sub accounts with specific configurations for clients with API? For example, number of agents it has access to configure if it has access to configurations or not. Yes. So that would all be done inside the SaaS configurator when you create a package. Well, okay, so I think maybe you're saying specifically to the AI agent specifically. So right now you'd have the ability to set it at the account level, but I think your question might be at the agent level, which is not something that is currently a function, but we can definitely look into that further.
Before you jump off of that, Ross, Drew, is this the same question that I asked yesterday? So for Pen AI, if we have an API, can we feed your agent with summaries from Pen AI? Is that the same question that's being asked by Christine?
No, it's a different question. Their question is about the API in regards to setting up new sub accounts or new AI agents.
Okay.
Your question is about using the API to feed the knowledge base.
Right. Okay. Sorry, I meant Christian, by the way. Sorry.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying, Drew. And
Thanks.
yes, we have, I forgot to actually mention this, we have extensively added to our API, which will allow you to set those specific configurations. We are also introducing a bypass of sub-account billing at the or at the subscription level, which will allow users to not have to use Stripe, but still have all of the functionality of using the API. I hope that helps. And Drew, if there's anything you want me to add on that.
I think that's good. Yeah, I think Christian's question was just being more granular about the permissions and when creating agents or sub accounts via the API.
Yeah. Okay. At the account level in automation, so I'm able to automate the registration if I'm giving it to my clients and offers that charge in different systems. Yes. Yes. That's what the API update is for. Yeah. Josh says, any plans to add folders or categories in my agents? It gets tricky to manage when you have a large amount. Yes. That's a good idea. So basically what you're saying is in here, instead of just having the ability to do sorting, you'd like to be able to put individual AI agents into folders and potentially even categories as well. I like that idea.
Yeah, the easiest way to do this, Ross, maybe to allow them to tag the agents with like a custom tag, and then we would allow them to filter by their tags they have defined.
Yeah, that could work. Yep, tags, perfect. Yeah, so when you enable it without the 11 Labs API key, I understand that it seems or it looks it's tricky. We'll look into that when it's on the iPhone specifically. Ariba, can you make a note of that, please? Yeah. And that being said, we are also investing a good amount of our bandwidth into our voice. I know we've been saying that for the last couple of weeks. That is still in the works. As soon as we have more of a live functional demo, like we have with MasterChat right here, we will immediately showcase that to you guys because we're super excited to get that out. Cool. Any last questions, comments, concerns? Of course, this will be uploaded to our YouTube channel, and we'll also send out a replay as well. If no one has any other questions, I think that will do it for this week. Thanks everyone for joining, and we'll see you guys next week. Take care.
Thank you. See ya.